The most important thing is to try to do your best. If you get the feeling of winning, you want to have the feeling again. I've always been a player on the move. It's not because I like running, I like getting the ball. Of course it's nice to get recognition, but I'm not looking for it. I just do my thing. If it comes, it comes, but it's not what you play for. In the future, I see myself at the highest level. That's what I dream about. Everyone looks at who is playing a World Cup. If a player you do not know makes a good impression at the World Cup, you'll notice him more afterwards. I've always been a runner. I'm not a player to defend or run around. I want the ball. Money has never been a motivation. I don't like it hectic. I like to keep it calm and do my thing, play the pass. I think you see the pass if you are in a good state of mind. I don't mind who takes the spotlight. If you win the game, then it doesn't really matter. I played for the first time when I was 3. My neighbor was 6, and I went to train with him. But I don't have many football memories from when I was young. I think everybody knows if they played a good or a bad game. I think, mostly for people on the outside, it's a lot about numbers or stats. More or more. That's how the football world is going, in that direction. But I'm not really looking into it. I'm just trying to be the best I can, to create as much as possible. You can definitely train your awareness to be even better than it is. Of course, you start with a certain point of feelings and awareness on the pitch. But I think the more you get in positions, the more you get used to it, the more you get used to the tempo of your teammates, everything. It feels more and more natural, and quicker and quicker. I've never been one to go past 20 players on the wing. I'm always going to be the guy sneaking the ball through, to build and create something. The more stable you are, if you have the same manager, mostly the same players, it makes it easier for the club to play as best as they can. It gives a bit of comfort. Everything has been put into what we all wanted at Spurs. Everybody wanted to become a top team, and that is what we have tried to do. That's the main thing for a player. You feel comfortable, you feel aware of everything around you, and you don't think about anything other than football when you're on the pitch. I'm my own person, and I think that's what everyone wants because it's difficult to be somebody else. I'm addicted to football. When I get outside, I just want to stay on the training pitch. I think, for everyone who wants to get to the highest level, you have to be in the Premier League, of course. Talking to the press, you say things a little differently. Argentinian people are always a bit more aggressive. I went to Chelsea twice when I was 14 and 15. I was at Danish club Odense at the time and came across with a friend to Cobham. We played against West Ham Youth away, and the year after, we played Millwall away. It was a bit of a shock playing against Millwall. I knew the reputation of English football was tough, but my first thoughts when we started were, wow, this is different to Denmark. They kicked a little more and made crazy tackles, but I wasn't injured when I returned to Denmark, so I guess I did okay. Ajax have a tradition of good football and play 4-3-3, which suits me. They also spend lots of money on youth players with the aim of putting them in the first team. During the game, you don't really notice how many guys have touched the ball because you're just focusing on where you need to be. When you are new, it is difficult to get momentum and get to know your teammates when you are not regularly in the team. Villas-Boas wasn't a bad man, not at all. Anyone can beat anyone in the Premier League. I never got to train with the likes of Wesley Sneijder and Rafael van der Vaart, but I am from the club where they were. I am not Dutch, but I am from a club where they both played with the same style. They've had really big success when they left Ajax, so I hope I can achieve the same. Why did I come to Spurs? It just felt right. Barcelona is a fantastic football club, and I don't think there are many players who would be able to say no to them. It is always hard when the referee is against you. You can't get in the top 4 if you can't beat the clubs who are in the top 4. I only had good years with Frank de Boer. I don't have anything bad to say about him. Every player has a different style of play, has a different talent, so people look differently at you. In England, you can't enter the training ground without permission, whereas in Denmark, you are free to go in. When you're young, I probably still am at 23, though I don't feel so young anymore, you have your ups and downs. Football was always big in my family. From the start, all I did was play football. I briefly played badminton and won a tournament when I was 12, but really, it was always football. My mum worked in a grocery shop and played football, and my dad worked with cars, a sales director, and he played to almost a professional level. His dad played as well. You watch Silva, and he almost never gives the ball away. He is always looking, thinking, making the right calls. Every player wants to play more than 45 minutes, but it's the decision of the coach. You have to work hard. I had a lot of dealings with Bergkamp. I started with the under-17s at Ajax, and he was the assistant coach. Once or twice a week, we had individual one-to-one training sessions. You just watched Bergkamp. When you see him in training, he had skills that a guy just shouldn't be allowed to have. I wouldn't go to a club just to stay on the subs bench. Bale is an exceptional player. He's shown that for years. He's Wales' talisman, and he's been that for years and will be for years. He's technically very gifted, very direct, has a wonderful kick and a lot of pace and a good finisher. It's never fun to be injured, it's always boring being on the side. You want to go back to help the team and to be able to play. Any coach in football doesn't like national team games because it's out of your hands, you can't really control what's going to happen. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.